Good morning, everyone. Welcome. We're just going to start by getting comfortable on our mats. Let's go ahead, just close the eyes, let the shoulders relax. And let your attention come to your breath. I wanted to open up today with a thought and that I had heard some parenting advice that I thought was pretty interesting and could apply whether you have children or not. But they were kind of talking about the way that when we have children, um, a lot of times your tendency is to kind of try and shape and mold them. It's only natural, you want what's best for them. And of course, you have ideas of what their life might look like, what they might look like. But that actually children really shape and mold us. They teach us who they are, and we're there to be a supportive witness for them, a guide for them, strength for them. And I thought about this, and parenting advice is really good for anybody, parent or not. It's just directed toward a group that really needs this advice. So as I thought about that, how it applies to our practice, that sometimes we want our practice to look a certain way, we want it to grow into a certain destination. We feel we need to mold our bodies, our practice, our minds to fit into this ideal or this goal that we have. But in fact, we need to let the practice kind of lead us and show us, because we're here to connect deeper with ourselves mentally, physically. And through the practice, we kind of learn what the body can do. And we find appreciation for what the body can do in this moment where we are. And it kind of helps relieve that stress of pressure to perform, judgments or critiques of our own body, judgments of our own mind. So as we flow today and we come into each posture, I want you to just observe how you feel and maybe give a little gratitude for what the body can do, even if it doesn't look or feel maybe the way that you hope that it would. It could one day come to a place of what you're envisioning, or maybe not. And just accepting and loving your body and your practice as it is the biggest part of the yogic journey. So with that thought, we'll just close the eyes. We'll bring the hands over the heart. Just take a moment for gratitude for the body that you're in today. Gratitude for this time we get to spend together in movement and connection. And let's just open up with a big breath, reaching the arms overhead, giving yourself a long stretch. Exhaling, we'll bend the elbows and just pull them down. Spread your palms wide into cactus. Let the shoulder blades slide together. Inhale, reach back up again. Draw the palms together and then reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, cactus, pulling shoulder blades together, nice and slow. Reach up again, draw the palms together, stretch those hands to the ceiling. And then let your right hand come down, give yourself a little side bend. Then bending into this bottom arm and letting that shoulder drop away from my neck and my ear, just giving lots of space. Okay, then bring it to the center, breathe in, reach to the ceiling. Exhale out to the left. Let that left elbow bend so you can come in a little deeper if it feels good. Bringing it back up. Let the hands both come down by your sides, and we're going to reach out to the mat and press the fingertips down. Feel the shoulder blades move strongly away. And then take some slow circles of the neck, just noticing how that neck is feeling. Where the stretch deepens, where it feels relaxed. And bring it back the other way. Good. We're going to release into the center and come up onto the knees. Take the hands back and behind, interlocking the fingers. We're going to draw the hands down along the tailbone, open up the chest, draw the shoulder blades together, and then bring your chin down to your chest. Good. Lift the head, keep the hands as they are, and just let the hips come down toward the feet. Lift the chest open, and maybe draw the hands a little more to take a really gentle little back bend. Good. Let's release the hands, bring them forward onto the mat, coming into all fours. And just take some nice big circles around. Spread the palms a little bit wide, just so each finger can strongly come down into the mat. You have a nice strong base for your wrists while they're warming up here. And bringing it back the other way. Good. Then we'll pause in the middle, tuck the toes, let your hips come up to down dog, and just give those feet a little walk out, bending one knee at a time. Drop your head, back of the neck is long. Good. Looking forward, walk your way to the top. Bending the knees, really soft forward bend. Give yourself a little rock side to side. Let's gently roll ourselves to stand. Take your time. Take a breath, reaching up. Exhale, bring the palms together and a little side bend. Back through the center and other side. Back through the center. And we'll step the feet apart, just a little wider than hip width. Turn the toes out to the diagonal. Sit yourself down into just a little squat there. And then reach back up. Sit into your squat. Reach it back up. Forward fold. Soft knees. Take that same rock as before, nice and slow. Just noticing the difference in the stretch with the feet open. Good. Coming into the center, soften the knees, rolling up. Big breath to the top. Exhale, hands to the heart. I'm going to step into the right foot. Let the left foot come to the side of the leg. My knee is opening out to the side in my tree. You can always take that foot to the ankle if that feels better, or if you want to come deeper, bringing it up into the inner thigh. But take what option works for you. Remember, we're letting the practice inform our body, not forcing anything. Good. Step out wide, a little bit wider than you did before. Sink into a little squat. Lift up and open, reach the arms wide. And goddess, bending elbows and knees. Hold just a breath. And then lift back up. Good. Hands to the heart. Step to the left foot. And bring that right knee open. Connect to the leg, tree pose. Good. Keep pressing through the standing leg to grow a little taller. Letting the shoulders drop. Finding that foot really rooting into the mat. Beautiful. Step back out wide. Sink into that goddess stretch. Beautiful. Lift back up. Step to the right. Reach palms up. Exhale into a fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, coming down to the mat. We're going to step the feet to the back, downward facing dog. And then move forward into your plank. Now from here, you can lower straight down or bring the knees down first and then bend the elbows to lower to the mat. Take a lift, up dog or cobra. Tuck the toes, down dog. Nice long breath here. Good. Left foot is going to reach up into the sky, three-legged dog. Toes are pointing down. Right heel reaching for the mat. Beautiful. Step that foot in between the hands, runner's lunge, and just let the hips sink in for a moment. Give yourself a little rock in and out. Back foot comes down flat. And we're going to lift our way up, warrior one. Let the body stack up over the hips, and then we're going to bend into that front leg. Good. Come down, reaching long, and we're just going to touch the mat. And then push into the feet to draw your way back up all the way to that warrior. And straighten the leg. Pyramid pose, come forward again. You can either come down to the mat or reach for your leg. Either way, we want to keep that front leg straight as it can be. because we're opening up the back of the leg. Let the head fall. We have one more breath. Good. Bending that front knee again. Walk the hands over each side of the foot and tuck your back toes, runner's lunge. Perfect. Stepping back, downward facing dog. Come to the top of your mat. Release into a fold. Softly rolling up to the top. Take a breath, reaching up. Exhale, hands to the sides. Take a breath here in your mountain. And we'll take it again to the other side. So nice big breath up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling to halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. We're going to step into our downward facing dog. Take a full breath right here. Good. On your next inhale, we'll move forward to the plank. Exhale, lowering down. Flattening out the feet, and we're going to lift up cobra or up dog. And tucking the toes, bring it back to downward facing dog. Right leg's going to lift, three-legged dog. Hip is staying close, so my toes point down toward the floor. And then engage those glutes in the back of the leg to lift. Perfect. Step the foot in between the hands, runner's lunge. Let the hips melt in just a bit. Take that stretch. Beautiful job. Back foot is going to come flat. And I'm going to lift my way, warrior one, sinking into that front knee. Good. Now with control, I come forward to tap the mat. So I'm keeping all that length in the upper body. I just touch and then push into that front foot to lift my way back up. Straightening the front leg. We come down again, either coming to the mat or holding on to the leg. Pyramid pose. Let the whole back line of your body relax. So long spine, long neck. Gaze coming to that back foot. Beautiful. One more breath. Bend that front knee. Hands come on either side of the foot. Tuck your back toes back to runner's lunge. Stepping out, down dog. Now we'll just let the knees come down to the mat as wide as the mat. Big toes come together behind. Press your hips back, child's pose. Letting the chest sink in toward the mat, the belly round down. And either your forehead or your chin coming down to the ground. So when we take the chin down, it just brings the chest a little bit deeper. Good. On your next breath, lifting up. I'm just going to walk my hands back to bring my hips over my heels into a wide-legged hero's pose. Let that stretch just sink down into the upper thighs, your inner thighs, your feet and ankles, your knees. And observe. If you're feeling a nice big stretch, that's fine. If there's any pain, coming out of it. Never putting up with pain in the body. Good, last breath here. And then we're gonna close the knees together and take a lift up onto them. Take a breath. Exhale, hands to the small of the back, palms face in. Roll the shoulder blades together to draw the elbows in. And then little back bend and supported camel. I'll just take my chest up. And we don't want to push the hips forward. We keep them in line with the knees and we just bend through the spine. And this protects our low back. Very gently, we'll release. We'll bring the hands back down to the mat, tabletop, and just take it to your cat-cow. Taking a breath in to round the belly, sway the back, and let the tailbone and the gaze lift. When you exhale, tucking the tailbone, arching the back, and drawing the chin to the chest. Just move slowly between these two, following your breath. When you're in cow, really letting that belly be heavy. When you're in cat, pushing the mat away with the arms, feeling the shoulder blades spread apart. Pay attention to the feeling in your back. Okay, we'll just take one more. And then we're gonna come to neutral spine. Stretch the left leg out, toes to the mat. Give a little press through that heel. And then we're gonna step the foot up in between the hands toward the top of the mat. Now this back leg, the foot is facing to the back of the mat. We're gonna rotate it in and under so it kind of comes off the edge of the mat so that you can open up to the side. This is our kneeling warrior two. So the hip bones are both facing out to the side. We're gonna reach the arms open and sink into that left knee. And then slowly draw your way back out. Sink in and draw out. Good, one more, and we're gonna hold in the sink. So hold there. Let your forearm come to the thigh. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Good, open back up to the middle. And we're gonna take it all the way to gate pose from here. So I'm gonna reach out now to my right and then let the hand come down to line up with your shoulder. Start to tilt over to draw the body weight there. That left leg is gonna start to lift. Right arm stacks up right over the shoulder. And if that feels good, kneeling sugar cane. So we're gonna bend the knee to reach for the foot and draw the heel in toward the glute. So we don't want the leg lifting out like this. Close the calf and the back of the thigh together. Giving the knee a nice stretch without any torque. Beautiful. Go ahead, release into tabletop. So now we're facing the other way. Give yourself a stretch back to child's pose and a couple breaths here. Gently, we're gonna lift up to all fours. Stretch the right leg out behind you on the mat, toes down, and give a press through that heel. Good, then we'll step that foot in between the hands up toward the top of the mat. Back foot is gonna swivel off and behind you so that you can lift up to that kneeling warrior two. Both hip bones facing forward. Perfect, reach the arms and just sink into that knee nice and slow, as deep as feels good. And then just lift your way back out. Sink in. And move back out. And last one, sink. Your forearm comes down onto the thigh, reach that left arm overhead. Yeah, reach it up to the center. Coming for that gate pose, so I'm gonna reach toward the left, reach out long to bring the hand down in line with the shoulder, and then let that other leg lift up. Good. Now, if you like to take it deeper, bend the knee. Take that foot or ankle and draw the heel toward the glute. So closing back of the calf to the back of the thigh. Perfect. We'll come down to tabletop. You should be facing forward once again. And sink to that child's pose. Couple long breaths here. Just let it go. Good. Let's rise our way up. And we're going to come down to seated. Take the legs out wide here. So I'm going to bring the bottoms of my legs down to the mat, toes facing up to the ceiling. And then just nice and slow, make some circles around. This is an active stretch to get into those inner thighs and into your hips. Just getting them nice and warm before we stretch in. Yeah, let's take that circle back the other direction. And last circle around. Okay, let's reach the arms wide. Take a big breath. Take it to the side, big side stretch. You can bend that bottom arm to draw yourself in a little deeper if it feels good. Keep drawing the opposite sit bone and leg down to the mat. Perfect, lifting up and out to the other side. Good, lift to the center, and we're coming forward to our fold. So reaching out, let yourself come down. Now, if you reach forward and you can't really comfortably even come to the mat, we're gonna start this stretch actually coming behind instead. So if you're kind of here, we're gonna reach back, press the mat away to lift up through the chest, and then kind of tent the fingertips to draw yourself forward. So that's going to start really stretching into those inner thighs. It's a great spot to stretch from. Press the backs of the legs to the mat. Find your breath. If it feels good to come forward, do that. Relax the backs of the legs. And then just slowly lifting back up, we'll draw the legs in together and give them a little shake out just to release those hips. Stepping the feet up onto the mat about hip width apart. Bring the hands back in behind you, fingertips face forward, bring the palms down, and just lift open the chest, drawing shoulder blades together. Let the throat open, your gaze come to the ceiling. And then we'll just slowly give the knees a little rock to the right and hold. So just hold there a moment. Feeling that twist through the spine. And bring it back the other way. Drop the knees and hold. Big stretch through the front of the arm and shoulder as well. Good, back to the middle. And we're just gonna slide the right leg out long. Step that left foot outside your thigh. And take it for a twist over to the left. So I'm gonna twist toward the left, bring my hand behind the hip again. And then we can either wrap the arm around the front of the knee, or if you feel like it'll be good to go deeper, you can bring the elbow outside, the outside of that knee, and then extend the arm. Give that arm a little gentle press into the leg to help you twist in deeper. This right hand is just gonna relax. Let that back shoulder come down, the palm meet the mat. Good, releasing forward. And we'll just take this leg out to the side. So I'm gonna bring the sole of the foot into the thigh. The knee opens out. And take a little stretch forward. Gently rising up. And I'll bend in the right knee, both soles of the feet coming together in cobbler's pose. Take the ankles and just give yourself a slow circle around. Good, bring it back the other way. And then let yourself fold forward. So we're tilting from the hips, drawing the chest in the direction of the feet. So even if you're just up here, try to avoid curving the back to come forward. Just let yourself lean. Keep that back nice and long. And then maybe as you release, you lean a tiny bit more. And eventually coming forward. Eventually as in over a lot of time, not today. But just breathe whatever position you're in and just notice if any critical thoughts start popping up, usually in our hip openers. The mind starts worrying, oh, I need to stretch more, I need more yoga. But none of that is helpful to the stretch. We just want to experience it. Enjoy what your body can do. Notice what it can do. Good. Let's let it go. We'll rise up. And then we're going to take the poses in reverse. So I'm going to extend the left leg, sole of my right foot into the thigh, and let yourself come forward to that fold. Don't worry if you can't come to the foot comfortably, come to your shin. Again, thinking about that tilt from the hips instead of curving the back forward. It's not really about the reach, it's about drawing belly and chest in the direction we want them to go, which is down toward your thigh. Good, rolling yourself back up. And we'll pick up that right knee, step the foot outside the thigh, and then take your twist to the right. Right hand coming behind, left arm hooking around or maybe to the outside of that knee, and then relax that hand. And let your gaze come out over the right shoulder. Gently releasing back to the center. Let's step both feet onto the mat and we'll just come down onto our backs. Give the knees a hug up into the chest and yourself a little rock side to side. Let the eyes close. Let yourself begin to relax. Bringing the legs down, feet to the mat, and just give the knees a little rock side to side. And then we'll pause in the center and let the legs stretch out long. Let the feet fall open. Your arms can rest on your body or down to your sides. And let's just give ourselves a few minutes of stillness to open our day. Our days are full of movement and busyness, work to get done. But let's put all that aside for this moment here together in Shavasana. Shavasana is a practice of stillness, where our nervous system can switch into a more peaceful mode. Our mind can relax and be present just on the simplicity of our breath, the feel of our body against the mat, the air in the room around you. And to help us focus into this moment for our Shavasana today, we're just going to go through our five senses. So keeping eyes closed and the body heavy and relaxed, think of one thing that you can hear around you. Think of one thing you can smell. For our sight, just notice the little bit of light behind your eyelids, the shapes it might be making there. For touch, feeling yourself on the mat. And notice under the bits of bare skin what you feel. And finally, for taste, we're going to open the mouth and take a slow, deep breath in. Slowly through the mouth, let it out. Breathe in again through the mouth. Let it out through the mouth. And then just let your mouth relax closed again. And just notice what you might taste. Notice your body so heavy and relaxed on the ground. Feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. If you're ready to lift and the practice together, begin to slowly move the hands and feet. Remembering that this little space of peace you carved out in your morning stays with you in your mind and your heart. Any time of the day you want to access it, just slow down your breath, close your eyes, and let yourself come into the present moment. Let's take a nice big stretch, reaching out long. And let the knees hug into the chest. Give yourself one more rock side to side. And when you're ready, slowly making your way back up to seated. We'll let the hands come to the heart here. Pulling in gratitude for this time you spent in movement and connection. And then sending that gratitude out to each other person here. Thank you for coming, sharing your beautiful flow and your time with us today. Namaste.